It's really been an honor to serve in this community. I didn't know I could. That ain't me saying that. That's the people that pull me to the side in the club. That's the people that stop me when I'm in the gas station. You done had jobs where you can't stand your fucking boss, but you love the job.
Facts. All right, let me pause it right here real quick. Self-worth. It's so important that we know the value of what we bring to anything. It could be a relationship. It could be the workplace. It's really important that you understand your self-worth and how valuable you are. To drive this point across, tonight we're going to be checking out an interview of my man Tripp Fontane from the viral and popular podcast, Tonight's Conversation. And let's see what my man Tripp had to say about his value.
You mentioned Tonight's Conversation.
For sure.
Super successful podcast. That's how I got hip to you.
Hell yeah.
I was like, damn, who's this brother going viral over there? He's saying a lot of great things, good stuff. I'm seeing the men and the women fooling what he's saying. And you don't see that often. Mm-hmm. So I'm seeing this thing take place. We do the interview. And then like a couple months after that, I see an announcement, a post goes up. In this post, I find out that you're exiting this successful podcast, that not only like positions you, but like people probably thinking like, why would you leave? You went on to say, it is with heavy heart that I will have to announce my departure from Tonight's Conversation podcast. In your caption, that's how you started your interview, but in your caption it read, it's been an honor to serve and entertain in this vehicle. To anyone who thought enough of your cousin to tap in, I guess, thank you. See you in the next chapter. Keep up with me over at Tripp After Dark.
For sure.
It's with a heavy heart.
Very.
Was it really that tough to kind of make that decision?
Man, we went on a historical run, my nigga. Historical. Bro, the industry will never acknowledge it. I know they won't. But most artists, and I don't care who offended by it, most niggas not doing 4,000 a show. Most of these niggas banding together to do their tours. Mm-hmm. Bro, wasn't no sponsors over at TC. And this just me looking at the whole situation for what it is, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like this me a regional poet who got respect from Illinois to Tennessee. A little work in Philly. Mm-hmm. And went to go to be one of the most known faces on social media. Right. Off of some shit we was doing in person though. Everybody like was more hip to the social media shit, but like they don't. So I don't think they understand the capacity to which this thing was being done in person.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And I don't think they understand how the industry works. The people that they think are like on don't do 4,000. They do about 1,000, 500 to 1,000, and that's not no shot to anybody. Right. That's just there's a huge. They don't understand that like classism and class follows through every industry. And I know I'm getting long-winded on this, but what I mean is that there's a huge gap between middle class and upper class, and that exists in the NBA. That everybody on the team doesn't get a $20 million contract.
You're talking about talent tiers.
They're not even talent, payment tiers.
Copy.
Numbers. What I mean is that like, we doing 4,000. Most of your favorite artists, if they're not A-listers, if they're not the Beyoncés, if they're not the J. Coles, they're not, and you not filling arenas, you doing 500.
The gap is that wide.
It's that fucking wide. And we was climbing as indie. We didn't have no sponsors. It wasn't nobody putting up bread for that. Wasn't nobody stamp on that. Bro, we went on a historical fucking run. Again, all the long wind is just to say that like nobody in this short span of time did what the fuck we did.
Pause right here. So if you haven't seen Tonight's Conversation, make sure you go check that out. It's a dope podcast. I've seen more of the clips as everyone, and we all know my man Tripp is in a lot of those clips, but it's a dope podcast. And let me know in the comments if you rock with Tonight's Conversation. Let me know. Have you seen the reels? Have you seen the podcast itself? Let me know how you feel about that. Let's get back into it.
And that's a credit to the motherfuckers that ran shit. That's a credit to us as the talent. That's a credit to Keita Rose. That's a credit to Randy Rosario, to Richie Fontane, to Rico, to motherfucking Mr. Let Go, to goddamn it, SD, to Kitty, to Trill, bro. That's a credit to the people that made this thing what it was, because we did make it what it was. When we challenged each other, when we argued,
Right.
the real feuds we had that carried on in front of the curtain, they still made the thing what it was. Man, what we did was historical, bro. I'm not letting nobody take that away from me. So yeah, it was with heavy heart that I walked away from that. You know what I'm saying? These people validated me from my perspective and who I am as a person and what I believe, bro. That's some heavy shit to walk away from.
Now, I'm sure some of your fans, though, from that platform were shocked.
Life comes.
What was the responses that you were seeing? Did anyone get really mad at you over that decision?
Nah. All right, no, on the humble, the majority response was on some, it's about time.
Copy.
Like it was about time. There had been a demand for me to step off on my own, or step off with Kitty, or step off with Keita, like, and do something like. And so a lot of people in the comments was on some like, oh man, that's crazy, like, but I wish you the best. But like the DMs was like, bro, it was about time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's on some. It became very clear the people on the stage that were carrying the show at any one given period. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? And it was like, hey, dog, your back don't hurt. You've been carrying that motherfucker for a minute. Like, you ought to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
these ain't even motherfuckers that's hating. These is like people really tapping in. Like, man, you know, you probably could. So that was the response I got as far as the support closer to me. It was about time.
Okay. So Tripp explains that, when he left or he made the decision, the fans themselves, they were like, yo, it was about time you split from that. We wanted to see you do more. So oftentimes you don't get that type of support when you feel like you need more, but it's really awesome that he was getting that type of support where, he thought he was worth more, or he thought he could do more. And even his fans, well, his true fans and true supporters were standing beside him. Let's see what else he has to say about the topic at hand, self-worth.
However, you felt in your spirit to exit. So I have to ask, like, when do you kind of know it's time to leave a situation? When did you know it was time to leave that?
I knew it was time to leave this. All right, so man, all right. I know I'm about to deviate.
Go ahead.
My situation was not that deep, bruh. That's what everybody had been looking for.
Right.
Is what was don't get me wrong, business got woozy with me.
Okay.
But I didn't have this like, oh my God, like, Lord, it was just like, all right, this shit's starting to go a little too far left with the business. Like I'm putting up 30 points a game, fam. I'm not asking for a limousine. I'm not asking for this. I know we a small market team, but nigga, if you need to go out and get some sponsors, you better go out and get some sponsors.
Understood.
I'm putting up 30 points a fucking game.
Right.
10 assists, 12 rebounds, 50 fucking percent from, you know what I'm saying, from the
Right.
3, 54 from the, you know what I'm saying, from the 2. Like, I'm efficient. I'm not a diva. I share the rock. And so when certain things started to go left, or I started to get told no on certain things, I'm like, okay, like I get it.
Yeah.
You not willing to budge. This how you run your situation.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I think my 30 points a game would be appreciated anywhere.
Well said from Tripp Fontane. Self-worth. Knowing your value is also important. When it comes to business, when it comes to relationships, you have to know your self-worth. And if in your spirit or your intuition tells you that there's more, you're limiting yourself, you might need to leave the situation, you might need to listen to that intuition. And in my man's Tripp's case, when you're scoring and you're the one carrying the team, or you feel like you're the one carrying the team, fair share, and you're not getting your fair share, it might be time for you to reevaluate your team, reevaluate your situation, and you might need to step back and understand your own self-worth. I wish my man Tripp Fontane the best of luck. I'm pretty sure we're going to see plenty more of him because he's an awesome speaker. Again, I aspire to be as inspirational as some of the people in these videos. If you like this style of video, make sure you throw up a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.